to Unraveled Game Thoughts. I am going to take a stab at a solo playthrough of Wayfarers of the South Tigris by Shem Phillips and S.J. McDonald. I recently went to the BGG Con last week, and I got to play this while I was there, multiplayer, and then returned, and this was waiting on my doorstep. So that was very exciting. And this evening, I'm in my PJs. I've got a hot cup of butterbeer, inspired by visiting Harry Potter World several weeks ago. And we've got Wayfarers of the South Tigris. So, try to explain this as best I can, and hopefully I won't go into great detail in the iconography, because there's a lot of it, but if you're familiar with tags in, say, Terraforming Mars or Ark Nova, it's got a little, I don't want to say it's a similar system, it doesn't look the same, but it follows a similar sort of pattern where different things look for tags. So hopefully that's somewhat familiar if you're watching this. But we have our display here. Here's my board, and my my tableau is going to kind of go out from here. The solo player, the automa, is really just going to collect cards, and we're largely just running the board here, which is very easy to follow, and I'll kind of explain it as we go. It looks more complicated than it really is, so once you kind of grok how to do it, it's very easy. So I'll just walk through that as I do it. But up in the top left, we have villagers. Hopefully they're not too cut off. Some of it might get cut off on the screen because I only have so much screen size here. But those are the villagers. They're always going to get tucked under land cards when they're in your tableau, and they're going to accentuate actions or cards that you have available. Then there are space cards. Those are in-game victory points in the top right. And sometimes they might give you a few instant abilities, but for the most part, in-game victory points. Then down here in the bottom left, we have land cards. They are either going to be a mountain tag, or they're going to be a city tag. One of those two things. They might have other tags too, but those are the two primary tags that will go down here on the bottom. And then we have the sea cards. So we have at sea, like open water, and then we have a harbor tag. And those are going to go on the right side of your tableau in the sea area. And we're going to, so when it comes to the villagers and how they're tucked, some villagers every villager is going to look for a particular kind of tag to tuck under. But some things will make your rest action stronger, which are always going to be on open sea spaces if something that makes a rest action stronger. And sometimes they look for a harbor tag, which they're going to probably help you accentuate an action. I'll go into some details, kind of get through the minutiae as we're playing the game. That way, I feel like it makes more sense in its context. So those are the cards you can potentially be adding to your tableau. There's also inspiration cards on the right side here, and those are going to accentuate in-game victory points for the most part. They have another option if you go to get one and you don't need it. Then you can kind of take discard the card and take a different action. But largely, you're going to try to go after those to get the bonus to the in-game victory points. On the board, this is the journal. So this is sort of the track that goes from left to right, and that's going to ultimately determine how the end game, or when the end game triggers, when one of the player tokens, either the automa's or mine, gets all the way to this last column here. That is going to trigger the end of the game. Whoever gets there first, the other player gets a turn, and then that player who triggered the end of the game gets a turn. Game over. So as that journal moves, that'll give you a feel for end game. As far as how this works in here, I will again explain that as the game goes on, because as I explain it, it will make a lot of sense what we're doing and what we're looking for. But to try to explain it all up front, and then it makes sense putting it together, so it can be a little overwhelming at the front end. we have influence in our, or influence tokens in our tableau here, and we're going to use those to influence these 3 minarets. So this represents the city of knowledge. We go out, we build our tableau, we explore the land, we explore the sea and the space, maybe get some villagers to help us out, and then we come back and we share our knowledge in the Temple of Wisdom. And that's what moves us along the journal track as we're journaling our findings. So that's kind of the theme of the game, or how the theme is pasted onto the mechanics here. Largely, this is a tableau builder. I don't know if I said that already, but it is largely a tableau builder. So building your tableau is typically going to be your best chance at scoring points at the end of the game. We'll talk about points then, but it's largely looking for a number of tags. Now, I'm going to fly through the game pretty fast because largely I'm just trying to show you how this works, and I will try to make reasonably good decisions, but I'm probably not going to sit and think about my decisions quite as much as I might if I was playing another person, or really trying to kind of, oh, how can I beat the AI here? But I'm going to try to make smart decisions as quickly as I can. All right, so if you're playing solo, you as the player always go first. What that means is you get 3 coins, you get 2 provisions. You're going to start with a blue and a yellow worker, and you're going to get 1 influence in the blue minaret. The AI is going to get a blue minaret influence and a yellow minaret influence. So we'll talk more about what you do with that influence as the game goes along, but for now, we'll say that. And then 3 dice. I've already rolled these dice. I have a 6, 2 6s, and a 2. So again, I'll explain how those numbers and what I'm looking for on those numbers as we go through the game. All right, so I'm going to get started. And with the workers, I have these, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 action spaces around the board. Now, there's none up here, but we have 3 that can take, or 4 that can take a green worker. We have 4 that can take a green or a yellow worker, 4 that can take a blue or a green worker, and these 4 can take any color worker. These are largely going to be used to kind of gain back some resources. That's kind of, these are the primary avenues for that. These out here, 4, 4, and 4, are going to be used to obtain various tiles, either on the board. You can get an extra journal action up here. You can get space card there. But they're largely to obtain the things that build your tableau. These things are not going to build your tableau. They're just going to get your resources that you can use toward building your tableau. So, let's see. Starting out the game, I do have a 6, and if I look on my board, the 6 will give me because it's a 6 die, I have a periscope. Which is this open. These symbols that you see on your caravan, that's what this beige part is called here. You don't get those based on the die. When you cover them up with tiles, with these tiles that are laid out here on the board, then they will give you those bonuses. But for now, the 6 will give me a peering glass, and the 1 will give me a camel. So I need to think about either making my caravan better or making my tableau better. I don't have a boat, but I could discard my influence from this blue minaret and it would give me a boat if I wanted to do that. So I could, like, say, use my 2 things here and get a C card right off the bat. But do I want to do that? It should be noted that these 4 areas count as cards. Even though it's your board and it's attached, you can't do anything. You can't remove them or anything. But this counts as 4 cards, and this counts as having a villager under this card, your library. So that's just important because you can put a bonus or an inspiration card up here, and that will be effective. But you can't put space cards up here until you've got land cards under them. So that's one of the dynamics you have to work with in the game. The other thing I'm kind of looking at is if I do get one of these cards, I can potentially get some bonuses right off. And the question is, do I want those bonuses. Ooh, I also like the idea of not having to worry about getting a ship if I go after a villager up here. This guy gives me the ship symbol, so instead of needing a ship up here that influences a die, I don't have one right now, or needing to remove influence, if I get one of these villagers and tuck it under here, then I will just have that ship, which is for that action at least, which is not bad. To get a villager, I would have to go here, and in that particular case, I would play that particular situation. I would play a coin. I kind of like that action. I'm gonna take my yellow worker. I also need to generate something that will help me get coins. So that is also significant because coins and provisions. Because they, at the beginning of the game, they're fairly tight, and you have to take a few actions to get provisions most often. So I'm going to go, for the sake of playing the game, you put the workers on the card, and I'll talk more about that in a bit, but it's yellow worker on there. So I'm going to get this card. It's going to cost me 1 coin, so I will put that in my supply over there. And it's I can also increase or decrease a die value. Well, I think I'm going to decrease this 2 to a 1 because then I can potentially use it in the camel spot. So I'm going to do that, and I'll grab this guy, and he's going to tuck right under my tableau. And the reason that's particularly helpful is because now this gain a land card action, I can do that basically. I don't have to worry. This villager provides the boat I need when I place a die there. So that just fulfills an immediate need for that, which is fantastic. And I'll just have to pay 2 provisions, and then I can get a C card. Whenever you take a card, at the end of your turn, you're going to move these over, like so. Another rule of note with villagers, you can only ever tuck 1 villager under each card. So I could tuck 1 here, but then I'd have to get more cards in order to tuck more in the game. And in in-game scoring, each villager plus tile that you have put out in your caravan is going to score you 1 point, 1 bonus point. So a little in-game points, and you can sometimes get a bonus to that if you can find it. Okay, and let's see. So the AI is going to take his turn, and what he does, or she, is she turns over a card. We look at the coin at the top. It's going to move its disc 1 space. The first thing it does, can it do this top action? Well, it doesn't have 2 yellow influence, so it can't do that. So it's going to gain 2 influence in the yellow minaret, and then it's going to gain an influence on a card. Well, what card is it going to influence? We're looking at the black, so it's going to influence a space card, and because there is 1, it's only gone 1, the total of all the cards that have been played so far. It's going to influence this first space card here. I'll try to put this up in the top right so it's a little easier to see on the space card. And what that means is if I interact with that card, then I have to pay a provision or a coin to the automa. Now, it doesn't actually gather provision and coins. Whenever it would get one, it just moves this disc around. And so that's its turn. Pretty easy maintenance, and as we do more and more, you'll kind of see how easy that maintenance is for that one. It's a really good low overhead for an automa. All right, now I see a really, really excellent card out there that I would love to have with that villager. This is going to boost my rest action if I can obtain it, and I'm going to need a C card for sure to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and use a 6 here, and I'm going to pay these 2 provisions, and I'm going to gain a C card. I can gain any of these C cards I want if I paid another provision, or if I had had a pigeon on my 6, under my 6, I could have drawn 3 and chosen one, but I don't. I really want one of these 2 cards. The bonuses I don't really like. I like the bonuses on that card, but I don't need another one of them. And this gives me 2 bonuses. It also lets me immediately take back a worker. This would give me a space tile for free. Not bad. It's not bad at all. And that would give me two of those. But I think I'm going to take this because it has the most bonuses. So I'm going to go with that. And the way these bonuses work on the C cards is my starting one has 3 potential bonuses I could get. But the lightning bolt connects to the top and the very bottom one, which means I get 1 influence on the yellow minaret, and I get 1 influence on any card. Now, I know that this automa is influencing these village cards. I also know I would really like that one. So I'm going to put it on him, because if he's going to take that card that I really want, I'd rather get something for it. It also means I could pay a coin and keep him from taking that card if I really want it, which I might actually consider doing for that card. So Automa's going to go. He is going to draw a card. He's going to look at these 2 coins, and he's going to go, well, he's going 1 more because there's 1 more drawn. He's going to look for 2 blue influence. He doesn't have it, so he's going to get an influence in blue, and then he's going to draw a tile from the board here. What tile does he want? Well, he wants a black tile, a space tile, and he's going to go from the, let's see, the inside out, I believe. Yeah, the inside out is where he's going to take the space tile from. So he is going to grab this one. And you don't have to think much about his. He just gets these bonuses. He's just going to snake it kind of like that, even though it would be an illegal move for a real player. But for Automa, he just gets to do that. So he's going to get an influence in there, and he's going to influence a card. He wants to influence a space card. He has 2. He's going to influence the second space card. So that is his turn. Sorry, his board is going on. And I'm just going to collect his cards off screen because we don't have to reference him. And those are just points for him. Okay. Now, I still want that card. I'm going to have to get some coins. So the question, I forgot. When I did this C card last turn, I was supposed to pull a worker back. So I would have pulled that worker back to my player board, and I should have filled this in as well. So that is there, and I would have gotten to reset a die. And the way that works is I can either turn or re-roll one of these, which I don't necessarily need to, or I just re-roll. I take one of these off of there and re-roll it and put it back in my display. So I'm going to do that because it's going to give me a little bit longer to my next rest. Now, I am probably going to use... I'm going to have to use my yellow to get that villager that I want. So I'm actually going to use my blue, and I need some coins. So I need 3 coins to get that guy, and I don't need a reroll here, so I think I'm going to take this action and just gain 2 coins to prep for that. And then we'll go to the Automa here. He goes 0, so he's not moving anymore, but he's going to place a green or a yellow worker on a card. Now, he always wants to place a green if he has one, but he doesn't have that. So he's going to put a yellow on a card and take an action. Which action is he going to take? Well, he's got 2 total here, so he takes 1, 2. He wants to take that action, which is gain 2 coins, which he just moves 1, 2, and he puts a influence on the yellow minaret. So now he's got quite a lot of influence there. He'll end up using it later, most likely. Then it's my turn, and now I can grab my action. Now, thankfully, he didn't take this action. Had he taken that action, I can't put a second yellow on the same card. I could put a blue, or I could put I couldn't put a blue there. It didn't take a blue, but I could put a green there, and that would be fine. You can have as many different colored workers on a card or an action space as you want, but you can't have 2 of the same color worker on the same action space. So, I am, in fact, going to take that action, and I'm going to have to pay 3 coins to the supply, to take this one, and my influence will come off. I did not use it, but I will be able to place this under this action. And what that does, it means whenever I take a rest action, normally in the game, if you haven't obtained a card like that, that could be tucked under an open sea space that influences your rest action, you would get to journal and you would get a coin. Well, this allows me to get 2 coins and 1 provision whenever I rest, which is fantastic. I will take it. Because if you can make your rest action reasonably powerful, it will be very beneficial to you as you have to rest during the game. All right, so he is going to draw another card. He's going to go 2 spaces, and now he crossed this card here. So he's going to take a villager in the 4 spot. If I hadn't gotten the card that I got, then he would have obtained it and taken it from me, or I would have had to pay a coin to get rid of it. Oh, we have another potential improve our action, and it's a provision. So I will most likely try to chase after that a little bit because I like those make your rest action better cards. Okay. Where are we at? We're gonna have to build up to that. It only takes 1 coin. So if I can obtain it, I can get it. If there was another card here that gave me a free villager action, that would be fantastic. But journaling actually could potentially get it, and I can get a villager here. 3 isn't going to give me much else. So I am going to maybe grab that. I don't see why not. I'm going to take a 3. Oh, I can't because I don't have what I need there. So what I'm going to have to get is a couple of provisions first. And I don't have a worker to place. All I have are my die. So I'm kind of in a little bit of a pickle here. That's the one I would need to get my thing. I could, if I can influence a card, that wouldn't be bad. But there's no workers. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do something, and it's going to have to probably be gaining some resources. So the question is, what do I want to gain? I could, well, I don't have a pigeon. So that also hampers me a bit. I could go after a pigeon. So if I go here, well, I don't have enough coins. Yeah, well, we're going to use our 3 there, and we're just going to get 2 provisions and see what we can do here. So that's my turn. That's all I'm doing. And he's going to go. All right, so he is going to draw a blue card, and I have to just remember this is the last card drawn. He wants to place a blue worker, and he always places a blue worker on a C spot. His total is 4, so he wants to place it on this card, and he will take. I think he just draws the top card off the deck, and he'll just add it to his tableau. It doesn't matter what it is. He doesn't get resources or benefits from the cards. He just draws them, and that will give him some endgame points. So it will be my turn, and I have those 2 provisions. Can I get a sea space? That is what I want to get. And I want to get an open water space, and it wouldn't hurt to get some influence up there, so that's not bad. The camel is not bad either. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use our 6. We're going to pay our 2 provisions. Where boat is provided by the villager underneath that card. And we're going to get our C card, and we're going to grab this one. We're going to put it here. So the lightning bolt connects with the influence a card action. So I'm going to influence the card that I'm kind of hoping I can obtain. And I don't have to pay anything else, but I do get 2 influence up here in on, whoops, is that right? The black, up in the black minaret. And that is my turn there. So now he has to take a rest action because he has 3 of the same color card out here. and blue is the most. So this is how he is going to take a rest action. First of all, there's a comment on there, so he gets one comment. He doesn't score anything for comments. He's just looking for majority, and if he gets majority, then I won't get points. I only get 1 point per comment, or you only score comments if you have majority, and so he would get. He doesn't score any, but he keeps me from scoring basically. Okay, so the next thing he's going to do is he's journal. So blue was where he went, and I always forget if he goes up or down depending on the red and the blue. I have to check that. Blue, the high path. So he takes the high path if he is majority blue, which means he is going to go here, and he's going to get a green tile of his choice. Because he's at the 4, he's going to take this tile that's on the outside moving in, and he's going to place it there. That's going to give him a space card because he has, oops, he's on 4. Sorry, he's not taking that space card. He's taking this space card, and that's going to go in his tableau area. And what else is he getting? So he started in the same space as me, so he's allowed to pay 2 of the black minarets, if he has it, 2 influence to go journal once more. He doesn't have 2, so he's going to sit tight right there. And then all of these cards are going to get shuffled back into his deck here. And you shuffle all of them together. There's only 5 of them. So it feels like a very light AI deck, but it seems to get the job done. The other thing, we did the comment. He always gains a villager card. So we're going to give him a villager card, and he is going to take this one. And actually, he wants to take that one, but that's the one I really want because it's going to give me 2 provisions. So I am going to make him pay me a coin. I'm actually going to pay the coin so he can't take that one. And so he will just gain I believe he gains 1, it's like he's getting the coin. So he gets to move that 1 space, but he doesn't get the villager. So it also kind of keeps him from getting 1 point at the end of the game by doing that. Not bad. All right. And then he journals. You're actually supposed to do it in that order. That order. Comments, gain a villager, and then journal. So I did that out of order. I'll try to do it in order next time. This should have moved over before, so let me do that little bit of upkeep there, and then it will be my turn. So, don't have coins to get that person that I want, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rest action because I want to get these back, and I have 1. If I have 1 or 0 die, then I get to do this, and I can take these rest options in any order, and they're going to give me 2 coins, and I get to do a journal action. There's nothing in this ink blotch here that I have to worry about having, badge tags or anything like that. So I'm going to scooch over here. I'm going to take the free villager action. And I'm going to grab this villager and put it under here, because that will make my next rest action even more powerful. Not bad. All right. So I feel pretty good about my rest actions now. I'm probably not going to focus on those anymore. I will move for him, so he will go 1, 2, and he doesn't have 2 black influence, so he's going to gain 1 influence, and he's going to gain a villager card, and since it's a 2, he's going to take this villager here and put it on his stack, and then move that over. Oh, the other thing I could have done on my rest action, I forgot about this. I'm going to kind of take a step back because I can, and I want to make sure I do this whenever I can or whenever it's most appropriate. I can, as an additional journal action, I can pay an influence from black to journal again. Not his influence, my influence, which I would do. And I would go forward 1 space. And what that does for me is now I'm going to get another die and roll it and put it in my tableau. And I also, let's see, he was the first to go here, so he would have gotten that because he rested before I rested. And let's see, I am here, so I get an inspiration card. So this is one where I can either take one of these, and I don't know, like if I have 6 villagers, I can double this amount. But I don't know what's going to be the most useful to me at this point in the game. So I can also discard them and get some ability. And I think I am going to discard this one and just shift it up there. And I get that action. It's going to give me a couple of provisions, which is helpful. And I'm going to shift those down and turn the next card over. And now that worker's on there because the worker slides with the card. Now I could pay another one if I want. The question is, do I want? I would need 2 stars. I only have 1 star. There's a star tag right there. But I have 2 villagers. I technically have 4 villagers. So I could pay and go forward again, and that would give me a green worker as well. So I think I will. I will use my influence, and I will move forward yet again. And now I can influence 2 cards. Well, he is going to influence villagers, so I am going to put my influence there because I might get some coins out of that if he uses them. What else? What's up? That was the only action. Oh, and I get this green worker because I got there first. So that is kind of why I did that largely, is because I really wanted that green worker. Now, to get down to these other places, I'm going to have to get some more tags in order to move forward, either 2 stars or 2 watchtowers, which actually there are none on the board right now. Okay, so we can move forward with his turn. Let's see what he does. He is going to move 1 space here, and he has 2 yellow influence, so he's going to pull those off. He's going to get a land card. Which land card? He wants 3, so he's going to get this land card and put that in his tableau area. All right. Okay, so he is doing not bad. So that's going to shift over. And just to give you some context, the automa, I think, seems to score about 60 to 80 points on a regular basis. So pretty tough to beat. I've played 2 solo games so far and have yet to defeat the automa. I've usually scored in the 40 to 50 range, but I am still learning how to put my tableau together well. Okay, we are on a turn. What do we want to do? We've got most of our resources. Man, I've got this green marker. I could really use it. But I think I have a bunch of ways to get land cards, so let's just pay 2 provisions, and we're going to go after a land card. There are no camels up there to put under. Wouldn't need to put an hourglass there. That guy will give me a worker back. But only I have to put him on a mountain, and I don't have a mountain. What am I looking at? I'm paying for a land card. I'm looking at the villagers. I need to be looking at the land cards. So let's see. Every time I play a harbor space, I will get a blue influence, or get to move an influence, and it gives me a blue influence right away. That's not bad. This one gives me an immediate die reroll. Also not bad. This one takes a pigeon, so I'd have to get that. And it can give me a journal action, which isn't going to be terribly helpful right now. It does have a book tag, and it has a worker on it. Also, neither one of those things are bad things. So it's tempting just to get the worker. But I really like the ongoing actions. So I think I'm going to go with this one. because that immediately gives me an influence, and then every time I place I get another open sea tag, I will end up placing, getting another influence. So that's pretty handy. All right, so he is going to go. Whoops, drew that off the wrong place. Didn't really look at it. All right, he wants to place a green worker. He always places a green worker on a village action. So he's got 3 out here, so he wants to place it here. And I'm going to let him, and I can take a provision or a coin. I'm going to take a provision. And he's going to take that action of getting a green tile. 3 is going to be this tile from the outside in. And he is going to influence a card. He wants to influence a black card. And he is going to do it with 3. He's going to influence that black card. So he's got a lot of influence on the space cards there. Not doing bad. Okay. I have the provisions. I could go after a sea card. And one of them gives me a worker. And one of them gives me an instant land card. I have to draw from the deck. But that's not bad. I'll take that. I like that. I think I moved these because this was a 1 and this was a 1. I'm messing with my die. Not supposed to mess with your die. It's supposed to stay the same. All right. Yeah, I think I like that land card. So I am going to place my 2 here and pay 2 provisions. And I'm going to get this land card because I like that one. It's going to do several things for me, even though it gives me no bonuses there. It does give me a worker, which is very nice. I immediately get a whatever this is from the top of the deck. I'll take it. It's going to be a couple of tags. And I now have reason to create a nice space over here. I'll have to potentially pursue that. But I don't have the die that I need for that, so we'll have to see how that goes. And let's move that over. And then he's going to go. All right. All right. He is playing a blue. He wants to play a worker. He can't, so he's just going to take a tile. Since he didn't move, he's going to take a black tile. And he is at 3, so he's going to take it from this side going in, and he'll take that one. That is going to give him an inspiration card. He wants to take this one, which will give him a worker. And that will go into his tableau. Unfortunately, inspiration cards are worth like 4 points to him. They are harder for him to obtain, for the automa to obtain, but man, he really gets a lot of points for him. And he's going to influence a card. Well, he's going to influence a black card, and he's only got 1 left to influence, so it's going to be that one. And then it's my go. All right. Well, I can't do that. I would love to get a space tile, but I don't have what I need to do that. Although getting a green tile and putting that there is not bad. That'll cost me 2 coins. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to pay the cost for these tiles is written here on the board. And the cost for these tiles and these tiles, 3, 3, 3, 2. You can also pay influence sometimes, but for these green ones, I can't. The reason I'm going to do this is because I can put a spyglass there, and that's going to give me a provision. And now when I put a 1 on this card, I can get a space card, which is nice. That's a good way to get space cards. All right, and I'm going to start putting his cards a little more stacked up because I need to be able to build my tableau out. In fact, I might even push the automa board off the table or out of the camera here just to make room. But I think you've got the idea of the automa, hopefully, and so that won't be too bad. All right, 2 spaces, so he's going to go there. He wants to place a green worker. He can't, so he's going to take his basically his automa specialty action. She's going to gain a villager card. And now that he's at 5, he wants to gain this one. Well, that has my influence on it. So he is going to give me... He's going to give me a coin. Yeah, he's going to give me a coin. I'm going to take a coin. And that's going to go to his stuff there. And that's it. All right. So next time he's going to be moving on the journal track and taking a rest action because he is at 3 of the same color card. All right. My turn. Ooh, there's another rest option there. Not too bad. And I have an open water. I could go after it. I don't have enough money for a space card, or I would consider doing that. That's not a bad idea. The question is, do I want to do another action? I have a green worker, so I could go to the spaces that give me a green worker, and that would not be too bad. It's tough. It's a tough choice. All right. Or I could go get a space card for 1 less coin. That's not bad either. I could get the moon. No, I don't have enough for the moon. I can't get the moon. It'd be nice to get the moon. But I could end up with 2 stars, which also isn't bad because I have stuff that gives me, well, I have a card that every time and I forgot to do that. I think when I placed this one, I forgot to do that and give myself another blue. So I'll do that. See, this is a really juicy choice because I could get influence in all 3, or I could go after the space card. Both of which are really good, and I could also go after a coin with my blue guy instead. Because I do need coins. I think I'm going to do the coins. Yeah, it's a tough choice, but I think I'm going to do the coins and see what he does. So he is going to be taking a journal action. So the first thing is to check for comments. Last card did not have a comment. He doesn't gain a comment. He gains a village card. He's going to go outside in. So he's going to take that card that I probably would have liked to have gotten, but oh well, I'm not going to get him. And then he's going to journal. Well, blue goes up. So he's going to go here. He doesn't get a die, but whenever he would get a die, he gains a tile. So he wants a blue tile, and he wants from the outside in, so he's going to grab that blue tile, and he's going to go here, which gives him a influence in the Black Minaret, and it gives him a influence of a blue card, which is going to be that blue card. I'll stick it down there so you can see it. And what else is he going to do? Well, he was behind me. So, I forgot to give him his card here. He gets this. So that's going to go to his tableau as well. 4 points for him. He's doing well. You wait to the end of the turn to refill, so we'll wait. But he wants to spend a black and move forward 1 because he can. And he's going to go there. He never pays costs. He wants one of those tiles, and he's going to grab this planet tile. And so there's a little purple ring around here whenever he grabs the pink tiles over here, which are kind of specialty tags. And he grabs that. And he gets a space card. Wow. This guy, man, just gets stuff so easy. So he's going to grab that space card, gets that influence back, and we'll put out another space card and another inspiration card. All right. My turn. Let's see. Now I've got this one. I got that. I could get a space card now. Ooh, I think I'm going to. So I'm going to use my one here because I need a periscope and I need a camel. So I'll show you kind of what this looks like. It's like a dual tag. So I have to have both of those. Well, that's why I put this periscope underneath my camel so that my one die, because I had a one die, would have both a camel and a periscope. So I'm going to put that on there. It's not really a periscope. It's like whatever you call the thing you look at space with. I can't remember what they're called. Telescope? I think it's a telescope. So I'm going to do that because that gives me a space card. And I am actually going to pay the full... Oh, I forgot he has an influence. Okay, I am going to pay the 4, and I'm going to pay 1 provision. That's going to move him there. That's actually going to give him a... Well, technically, he wouldn't have any... I would have shuffled those because I just forgot to do it on his turn. But that will give him that. I'll go ahead and go back to his turn real quick. And we're going to do that. And I am... Because he had influence, that's why I had to pay the extra provision in addition to the 4 coins to get this space card. But if I can get the sun later, then I will also be able to score 7 points. Right now, this one will be 3 points for either the sun or the moon, but the sun and the moon gives me 7 points, and if I get a double R on top of it, even better. I do immediately get an influence in blue. I'll take it. And then it's his go. All right, so he is going to draw a card. He's going to move 1 space, and he wants to pay 2 blue influence, which he'll do to get a C card. He is at 0 or 1, so he's going to grab that C card. Oh, sorry. He's going to grab that C card, because it is a C card. All right. Whoops. Man. Just grabbing the wrong stuff here. This C card. All right. So that is that. And he's done. All right. I do have 1 green worker. A little bit of a question is, do I want to do it now or do I want to go ahead and rest? That is a tough decision. I don't have any resources right now, so I couldn't really pay for anything. Getting influence in all 3 guilds wouldn't be bad, or all 3 minarets. I don't have the stars to move on the journal track, so it might not be bad to use this guy to go ahead and get some things that would help me. And I really need provisions. Now, I don't want to take a rest action, but I don't have a way to get much of anything because a lot of my stuff's covered. So I am going to actually take a rest action. So I'm going to get 2 coins and 2 provisions, which is pretty helpful. I can also move an influence to another spot. I'll go ahead and move one of those blues up there. And I'm going to get all my dice back and roll them. And let's see. A couple of 2, a 3, a couple of 3s and a 4. All right. So let's see. I got that back. I got that. Now I can journal, but I don't have the tags. I would need 2 of these. Oh, I have those. I have 2 of those tags. I can move here. Sweet. Which gives me a what do you call it? I get one of those pink tiles, which is fantastic. Now the question is, what pink tile would I like to have? This is majestic. I'm getting that. Well, I need as many of these tags as I can get because I really want to get a bunch of those things. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. Put that there because that feels special. So we have done that. And I am going to pay this influence that I moved earlier to then move forward. I'd have to pay. I don't think I can Do it. Yeah, that's too bad. Nope, I can't because you have to pay an influence to move, but to move an extra space, I have to pay an influence. So I would need 2 up there to actually do that action. Drat, so close. Okay. So I'm gonna actually stop there, and I will probably, I am being hailed by my family, so I will probably finish this at another time. I don't know that I'll finish it for the channel. If you're really interested in seeing a full playthrough and me getting to the end of the game, post something in the comments, let me know, hey, I really want to see the whole thing, I want to see how it all plays out. As far as scoring goes, at the end of the game, the automa is going to score 1 point for every villager card he has, 2 points for every land and sea card he has, 3 for every space card, and 4 for every inspiration card. So I've just stacked them in stacks so I can see their backs very easily. He also scores points for any of the tiles that have points on them that he gets during the game. So he gathers those as well. And that is the vast majority of his points. As far as me, my first thing is I look for sets of tags. So two of the same tag will give me 2 points. 3 of the same tag will give me 3 points. 4 of the same tag gives me 5 points. 6 will give me 12. And 7 of the same tag gives me 16. So I can get a couple where I get 7. That's fantastic. And then every set of 4 different tags will give me 5. And so those count individually. It's not like if I use one for the set of 7, I can't use it for the different sets. So those are very helpful. And it's only these 4 tags that are pictured at the top. It's not every single tag. It's just those 4 basic, the city, the mountain, the harbor, and the at sea tag. Those are the ones that are going to give the points. Also, the space cards give me in-game victory points, and the inspiration cards can give me extra points on top of the victory points. And resources don't give you anything. Extra dice you didn't use don't give you anything. Workers don't give you anything. That is the vast majority of points. Anything that you have in your caravan that has points listed on it will also give you those points. So you can get a few from there. But that is how the points all end up working out in the end. And yeah, there you have it. That is a little bit of Wayfarers of the South Tigris. And if you enjoy Garfield games, Architects, Paladins, the Raiders of Scythia, Raiders of the North Sea, I think you'd like this game. I think anybody who really likes those games probably gonna like this one. It has that real light to midweight feel. It's not really, it's a little bit of overhead to learn, but if you are familiar with the symbology and all those other games, then this one's going to come pretty quick. If anything, it's just kind of figuring out how you chain these things together functionally to build the best tableau and move through the game. My personal opinion on the solo is that there's a little more luck than I think there should be, although I've heard that some people are really good and they can beat all the solos. The journal automa is hard because it moves down the journal track very quickly. But I am still working on my skills building my tableau, so I have yet to beat the automa at this point in time. So I will probably finish this game, and if I finish it before I edit the video, I'll post what my outcome was. Again, if you really want to see the whole thing, shoot a comment and I'd be happy to play it again. I played 2 solos. It's fun to play. It's a fun solo to play. It does have some good, fun decision making. But I feel like there's a little bit more luck in the draw that I really like. It doesn't feel quite as meaty. It almost feels like I'm just trying to get my best score to some degree, even though you're playing against an automa. But there is a little bit of like, I can try to put stuff on cards that they're going to give me coins for if they touch or interact with, that sort of thing. So, and you've seen a little bit of that here. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching Unraveled Game Thoughts. Like and subscribe if you get a chance, and I have a Patreon. I always put that in the comments below. So if you really want to support the channel, by all means visit Patreon. And this is just mostly something I do as a hobby and as for fun, but I am also trying to work on some content I can put in that are just for anybody who's offering additional support beyond just liking and subscribing. So I haven't. If you have ideas for that, post some comments for me. Right now, I'm leaning toward maybe doing a campaign of Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle Earth, or something of that nature, running through one of the campaign or legacy elements of one of the games I have. So, thanks for watching again, and have a great evening.